Hello everyone, and welcome to your video which is going to teach you how to calculate the area of a sector. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. If we have a circle and we have an angle, and let's say, let me see, I want to do this kind of right. We'll say this is our sector, okay? And we know a few things about this circle. We know, for instance, that our radius is equal to 3. And we know that this angle measurement, so our angle, theta, in this case, equals 117 degrees. What I want to know is just the area of the sector. Now you'll notice that this doesn't have straight lines over here, so we cannot use any of the area formulas that we've used before. You know, like length times width or 1/2 base times height or anything, because we don't have a normal looking geometric thing. We have just part of a circle. So let's talk about how we would go about figuring this out. What we're going to do is first we're going to calculate the area of the whole circle. And the area of the whole circle is pi r squared, right? My pi's r squared, okay? That is the formula for the whole circle. So in this case, that's going to be pi times 3 squared. So 9 pi is our total area. Now this is the exact number. I am going to calculate that that is about 28 units. Really rounding it off, that's just to help us because we in life don't have much of a sense of what 9 pi means, but it means about 28 units. So we could be measuring in inches or miles or yards or acres or whatever, but we got about 28 of them. Okay, so now if we want just this portion of the circle, what we will do is we will say, okay, so the area of the sector is going to equal 9 pi over 1, that's the area of the whole circle, times 117 over 360. The 117 came from the angle measurement related to our sector, and the 360 would be what the measurement is if it went all the way around the circle. So I'm just going to crunch this math. Now, there are a couple of different ways to crunch it. I could do 9 pi times 117 and go across like that. However, I'm a fan of canceling when I can. So I'm going to say 9 goes into 9 one time, and 9 goes into 360 40 times. Because if I take 360 divided by 9, I get 40. So that just gives me smaller numbers to work with. So I have 117 pi over 40. And of course, 117 divided by 40, oh, I guess it does work out. You get 2.925 pi. 2.925 pi. If it didn't work out nicely like this, then I would leave it in fraction form. I would just try to reduce it if I could. And so this is about 9 units. So if that helps you at all, this whole circle is about 28 units, and just this is about 9 of those units. So that kind of makes sense, right? Because this is about 1/3 of the circle, if you could imagine. Yeah, I mean, my drawing might be a little bit off, but that works. So the area of the sector, the most correct answer here would be 2.925 pi, or 117 pi over 40 would also be an excellent answer. Let's do another one. Okay, so let's say that I have this, oh, I want a different color, here we go. Let's say that we have a circle, and this time we have a very small slice. Even smaller than that, probably. This is not going to be to scale. And we know that this theta is 12 degrees. 12 degrees. And we also know that our R equals 10. So let's calculate the area of this sector. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to calculate the area of the whole circle, which is pi r squared, which in this case is pi times 10 squared, or 100 pi. Then the area of the sector is going to equal 100 pi over 1, I'm just turning it into a fraction to make life easier for myself, times 12 over 360. Right? 12 over 360, because my angle measurement is 12 and there's 360 degrees in the whole circle. So that's what I'm going to do. And again, I'm going to do a little bit of canceling just so my numbers are smaller. So I'm going to divide this by 10 and get 10. And I'm going to divide this by 10 and get 36. I could probably do more, but that's okay. So 120 pi over 36. I'm going to try to reduce again. I think I'll reduce by 12. So that will give me 10 pi over 3. So that is the measurement of the sector. Now, again, just so that we know, 100 times pi equals about 314 units. Okay? This would be 10 divided by 3 times pi. So this is about 10 units. So that gives you a sense of the difference between the size of the little sector and the size of the whole thing. The correct answer, however, is 10 pi divided by 3. Or it could be 3 1/3 pi. That would also work. But usually you're going to see it like that. All right, we're going to do one more and then we'll be done. So let's say that we have a circle. And this time we are measuring a big old chunk of real estate here. We're measuring this. And this right here is 324 degrees. 324 degrees. And we know that our radius is equal to 8. All right, so how are we going to calculate the area of this sector? We want this large sector. All right, well, first let's do the area of the whole thing. My pi's r squared. And so then that's going to be pi times 8 squared. So we got 64 pi going on, which roughly 64 times pi, just for comparison, is about 201 units, whatever those are. Okay, so the area of the sector is going to equal 64 pi over 1, that's the area of the whole circle, over 1, times 324 over 360. That's what that is. Okay, this time I'm just going to do it the hard way. 64 times 324 is 20,736 pi over 360. I'm really going to hope that I did my math well so that we get a nice number, and we do. We get 57.6 pi, which is about 181 units. So you can see that our sector takes up most of the circle, and it also takes up most of the units, right? There's only a few units left that are in the white portion of our circle. All right, so that is how you calculate the area of a sector. First, you calculate the area of a circle, and then you multiply it by the degrees used in the sector over the total number of degrees in the circle altogether. That's all there is to it.